John McCaig with JesusChristTrust.net. This is where a living saint, so there have to be saints, right? Where a living saint tells you the truth that no one has ever heard before. No one has ever released the information before, not ever. And so let's get into China. Main point of what I'm going to go over today is different areas of this domed ant farm that we find ourselves locked inside as slaves. Um, Not all of it. Yeah, we're at a 64-year time limit. Yeah, that's true. But, there are only 7,000 humans in here. The rest are creatures looking like humans and all that stuff. And so, you don't need the whole place, right? The whole plantation, the whole dome to house 7,000 people and the character actors around them and all that stuff, right? There's no reason to, run the whole place. Even though let's just say, how would you know? How would anyone know if a map is real? There's no way to know that any map is real. There's just simply no way. Like, yeah, we're in a domed, we're in a dome. Okay. So that's a circular shape, but how would you know if the North Pole's at the center or the South Pole's at the center, if the North Pole's real or the South Pole's real? You have no idea. And we can't know because you cannot travel to find out. It's not possible, right? There are location restrictions, there are time restrictions on travel, right? You cannot travel at night ever in an airplane long distance. You just cannot do it between, you know, land masses, between continents or whatever. Because you would see the center point of, this area we find ourselves in, this dome. You would see it in the daylight, and you can't see it. I mean, every flight is a night flight between America and Asia and Europe. Like, every single one, and no one's supposed to notice. I mean, I don't understand why I'm the first person to notice literally everything I put on every video. I have no idea why I'm the first. I mean, it's that differentiation of knowledge that is like, oh, you know, they have a name for that. It's called a saint. In other words, I'm in the spiritual hierarchy. That's all that means. And I have the information to prove it. Okay. So you don't know if maps are real. Have you ever been to China? I haven't. I don't know if it's real. Okay. But let's say recently there's a lot of video, you know. There's a lot of talk of China being real. Uh, which is kind of funny. Like, okay, there's a Shanghai Auto Show that just happened like a week ago or whatever, 10 days ago, something like that, okay? So, if you watch any video on it, they have, I don't know, 100, literally like 100 brand new car designs with new cars. 100 different models, all these different companies. That might be even on the low end. So the story is there are all these factories in China and all these companies are making, all these new electric vehicles and they're brand new and all these different designs. And by the way, all the different designs, almost every one of them looks about the same. They don't really look very different. It's either SUV or sedan, and they don't really have hardly any other anything. For making that many cars, there's no creativity. Just none. They're all basically kind of, you can't even tell a brand difference. You know what I mean? There's basically no differences. There all could be one brand. Meaning, really, obviously, from the look of it, they all come from the same place, right? These things aren't built in factories, okay? I don't know. Maybe some are. Maybe Tesla has found a way to, make some cars some places. I don't know, but most of them aren't. They just pop out of the ether like a rabbit out of the hat. Or where does? Let's just not talk about only cars. You'd be like, oh, well, they have cars. So yeah, but where are all the rest of the factories? You got to retune every factory line for everything you're making. How is that possible for all the products on the shelves at every Walmart and a grocery store and on and on and on and on? That's not possible. See, all of us would be working round the clock in factories to make that happen if that were true, which it's not. Okay, so let's look into China a little bit further. So, the Shanghai Auto Show is the 20th Shanghai Auto Show. Now, if you watch videos of China, like, hey, watch this, driving through a city, and they all say driving through the new city of, unpronounceable name, and so they show, they'll just be driving along in one of, horridly ugly, just absolutely, blocks. Every building is just a block, right? It's shaped like a block. It's made out of concrete, glass, and metal, and it just has, it's like a box. It's just everything is a box there, just exactly sharp edge box. Or, oh, isn't this unusual? We have like a I don't know, an oval shaped building. Nothing warm and inviting. Just, oh, we changed the shape slightly to circular. Same ugliness. Same horrible unlivableness. Same trees that are like all nothing over no trees, no plants in the whole city over 15, 20 years old. And that's pretty much every city in China. Is every building is brand new, every street is brand new, every tree is like 20-year Shanghai Auto Show. Yeah, that's about right. Like, there's basically nothing that anybody is using pretty much anywhere that is, you know, older than 20 years old in all of China. Yeah, there's some old buildings and stuff like that. They're like rubble, Nobody takes care of the old stuff there because there aren't many people there, right? You see video in cities in China, brand new streets, for so many people, but not many cars, not many people anywhere in China. There just aren't that many people there. And so basically, here's the thing: everything's popping out of the ether in that general area over there, and everything ships over here. Oh, yeah, maybe, maybe. But everything's popping out of the ether, and they just have plenty of money, and they have plenty. Whoa, we don't have any cars or things or anything like that, so they have to buy them all new. Everything is like new and blingy over there, shiny. Like if you go to look at the auto show from Shanghai, it's like your grill is on your car is bigger than the front of your car. It now is extending the chrome all the way around. So the cars are just, it's like something a 13-year-old might think is, oh, that's so cool. You know what I mean? Like, they're all ugly. They're all about showing how cool you are with ego. They're just over the top, like 80s, you know what I mean? Ugliness, but even shinier. It's just amazing. And you could tell, like, no one there knows. Like, they've all been implanted memories and all this stuff there. Like, they just talk about the place over there like it all makes sense, you know? China's coming out with, I don't know, 1,000 new car models this year across, 100 different brands. It's like, what? How is that? That's stupid. You think we're going to believe that story? I think that that's real. Oh, there are more than 100 large auto companies in China now actively making super many new electric vehicle type cars that all look basically the same. And they're producing them so much, and you could get them real affordably, and everybody's willing to take a loss to get market share. It's like every single company in China is making a loss on selling cars. Is that your story? Like, how is that possible? and everybody's invested in real estate, so they have this economy that, everybody. None of the stories out of China make sense. None of them. Okay, not anything. And then you just see, there aren't many people there. There's nothing old there. There's nothing makes sense. It's their whole backstory. Everything's made in China. It's like, well, where? I mean, like, there's hardly anyone there, and everything they have is new, and they're at the auto show, and they're gonna buy every new everything. That's what they're doing over there. It's just, it doesn't even make any lick of sense, the whole thing. Like, oh, you can build a new city in like a couple years. That's what? It'd take you 50, 100 years to build a city. Have to contour the whole thing, then you have to put in all the sewers underneath of it. You know? The whole thing, like the water, the sewer, the electric, it all has to be placed first, and then you have to have the plants that back that up to clean the water and make the electricity and all that stuff. Those are just the absolute super gigantic systems, that are indescribably huge, that would take manpower and resources beyond really what a country has. To create a city from scratch fresh is almost impossible. You watch them do it out there. The only kind of video you can see of actually creating any kind of city like thing is like in Dubai, where they make literally even uglier stuff than China. Let's just say, the Mid East is the ugliest place that has ever been made, right? It's just these ugly buildings, sand and concrete and glass and steel, and just no creativity, all of it ugly, so horrible. So like, you would never want to visit there, right? It's just absolutely off-putting, the whole place, right? And everything, you could see they built like those islands things, right, in the Gulf of Arabia or wherever, with the oil money. Oh, we're gonna build this, and then you can, take your boat to your multi-million-dollar, $100 million mansion. Well, they never even really got them built. With Now this is, you know, not that large of a city. This was these are huge real estate developments, right? Where you had to bring in the earth and do that and stuff like that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They haven't completed them. First of all, they just haven't completed them. Uh, and it's been like 20 years or something like that. And they had, you know, Arabian oil money behind it, unlimited, right? Seemingly, they couldn't even get one place done for you to watch on video that could be built. Oh, we built this. Now they couldn't even get one place done with oil money. One. They couldn't even do one. You know what I'm saying? Oh, well, that's marred in what? That's a wash in oil money. Do whatever you want. Now, even they didn't have enough money to move earth like that. Everybody think, oh, you just put the earth over there. There's no way you can do that. Oh, move that mountain over there. No way. No one has enough resources to do that. Not even the Arabian oil wealth countries. They don't have that money. So how's China going to build city after city after city after city after city? You never see video on how they built it, right? It's all brand new. It's all within the last 20 years, the whole place, everything, except for the Disney World. This is old. It is, huh? I don't think so. Only God can make stuff look old. People can't build anything, that's supposedly old. Well, okay, build a monastery, build a cathedral now. Let us, turn on your GoPro. Let's watch day by day as you build something that looks like this old stuff that's here. That's impossible. You can't even build a new, crappy, ugly city that people, lining up with hundreds of millions of dollars each to spend on their homes, and you're going to build it with oil money over there in Dubai. You still couldn't get one built. So, but people built cities in China and stuff. It's just, point being of this obvious discussion that, you know, there are different parts of this plantation that we find ourselves in as sheep on the plantation, right? that just they don't need to open those other pastures up until, you know, oh, you might be looking outside your pasture, so let's make China look real. Okay. You know, start it up. it's it's pathetic that people actually buy this story and don't challenge it ever. They just go along, and they do it further. They're very tied to the story. Oh, China's real. You haven't been. You know nothing about China. You're just repeating what you've been told. And what you've been told, the story, if you look into it, just past 1 millimeter deep, is just weak. The whole thing is just ludicrous, is stupid. The whole, every bit of it is so, what's the word? Insidious. I don't know. It's all encompassing. Like that being stupid is the only quality that makes humans human, really. That's the only all pervasive quality. Stupidity. That you cannot see any truth that's going on around you. Nothing. You bought the whole story, you've been lied to your whole life, and you never challenged one single story. Oh, well, I challenged this and da da da. Well, what made you think anything else they were saying was true? You see what I'm saying? Why? Oh, well, the next thing I looked into, that was false. Well, the next thing I looked into, well, that was false too. And every time you look into something, every single story is false. Everything. Right? Oh, well, math is real. Yeah, but they made that up. English is real. Yeah, they made that up. I mean, God made it up. They're not clever enough to think that up. I'm just saying. Those are made up methods of communication that aren't true or not true. They're just made up. Right? And then, okay, let's go on to something that might, oh, what do we have to? It might be real. How about history? Fake. Right? You go through every topic that we've ever been taught, from children through, or news, right? Or anything. Every single thing, and you can name anything, is a lie. Absolutely everything in this reality is a lie. Everything. Who challenges it? Who sees the limits? Who sees, oh, how can I overcome this reality? How can I leave this dome? How can I just can't understand why anyone listens to a single bit of the entire storyline. It's so stupid. We're in Disney World. Disney stories are stupid. They don't even hardly have a plot. Same with us. We don't even have a plot hardly. You call this a plot? History was, okay, world wars. You're saying a bunch of dudes just lined up, took guns, and just shot each other because, hey, is what our country told us to do. They wouldn't do that. Humans wouldn't do that. How stupid of you to think that that could ever be true. That's stupid, right? A few evil ones on the other team make it look like we go to war. No, you don't. You do not. We're at war with you. You run everything. There's one organization for the devil that runs everything. They're never countries at odds. There's never, oh, we're fighting them. That's just made up stuff on the stage to make the idiot humans think this whole thing is real, which is pathetically stupid. None of it's real. So easy to see through. And really, so the point is, that's just the first step. Oh, everything's pathetically stupid and the stories don't make sense. Now, the next step is, what is actually going on? Do you see what I'm saying? No one even engages in that. The second step. I mean, I have Christ consciousness, so I'm required from my job just to tell you what the truth is. Hey, did you ever notice everything in your reality and let me explain it to you? You're like, no, I never explained. I never thought of everything in my reality, right? I never looked around me at everything in my reality, and nothing is as I was told. Not one single thing. Science. No, but it's scientifically proven to be the script I'm going to tell you, which is never true. I mean, recently, and only very, very recently, and I want to say in the last couple months, maybe have I had some human interaction and contact with maybe intelligent people. You know, I'm just saying, I've never met anyone intelligent before, ever. Human intelligence, I just consider a hoax, right? No one has figured out they've been lied to their whole life, let alone figured out what is actually going on. Do you see what I'm saying? There are two steps to that process. The first one should take a relatively short period of time, right? Where everything's fake. The second part should take all the time. Oh, I got to figure this all, you know? But they don't even get to the first part. And we're in a 64-year time loop, so there's only how much time? Oh, you know, maybe I've been lied to. Okay, maybe. Wait, how long does it take to? I have been lied to. Oh my God. Then you got to process that. Who lied to me? For what reasons? Blah, 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 blah. And then you got to get to, okay, what's the truth? Because the truth sets me free, so I got to figure it out. Who's doing that? No, they're looking on social media. Oh, dude, that makes sense. You know what I mean? I saw what that guy posted. That kind of makes sense. They had no proof, but it's such a great story. You know, maybe you can be a national. Ooh, that sounds so cool. I want to be a national instead of a citizen. They're synonyms. They don't have any different meaning. My God, you're all lost in nothing. You're lost in their side storylines. You haven't found out anything new. You're just slightly off the main path over into their other little paths, which they pre planned you to walk on. And you're like, oh, that's so interesting. I found this out. Now, almost everyone on social media doesn't have a human, like a body. They're just jinn, they're demons in the ether. They can post on social media, right? They own the light, Lord of Light. You're looking at a lighted machine thing, right? AI, no, it's ass, right? Uh, AI. Artificial intelligence? No, it's artificial stupidity. They're idiots. They're telling you the same stupid nonsense. They're not helpful. No one's helping you. The news, nothing helpful. Nothing on the TV is helpful. Nothing. Not one single thing. Never has been. So, when are you taking their storylines and going, okay, what's real and what isn't real? When are you doing that? Because if you're not doing that, you'll never find out about reality. I mean, I have to make a new video every time I have time after I help people. I work 7 days a week. Hardly make a nickel every month, barely pay the people that work for me. You know? Because what? I only have the truth. Recently, two people donated to the school. I want to say donations, I mean to the church. Donations to the church are extremely rare. And I got two good donations last week. Alan Poe and Jay, right? I mean, those are real donations from two intelligent people. I talked to Alan Poe, and dude, that guy is one of the smartest people I ever spoke to in my life. It's unbelievable. You know, he's started to see through this and organized, you know, getting through it, and it just in a such a methodical, detailed way. I was like, oh my God, this guy's super smart. Human intelligence isn't a hoax. You know what I mean? Like, God, I talked to a smart human. It happened. It's just, you know, I don't mind answering questions. Don't get me wrong. I like waking people up. So don't stop asking questions. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I have to look at reality around me and see what's happening and see the numbers on this thing and see what's actually going on, and then, you know, try and make a plan for helping people. But the numbers are so vast, you know. It's just me. I, I literally never meet anyone awake. You know what I mean? I'm always waking someone up, and that's fine. But, you know, you start to look at the numbers after a while, and you start to look at, you know, an individual's role, and you start to wonder, where is anyone else waking anyone else up? Anyone. Just a single soul out there doing it. And I've never met them. Not ever. And you know, I just get into that spot, I guess, where I have to accept there's not gonna be anyone else coming along with the truth, right? To save anyone. There never will be. There hasn't been. So I think we can just expect that there never will be. Because it's a paradigm of mind. Oh, I'm being lied to. What's actually going on here? You have to take the time to figure it out. You know, and what has anyone figured out? Just one single thing that I haven't posted on here. I don't know. China, yeah, it's 20 years old. If that, right? If that. Oh, there's a billion plus people over there that have no impact on the world whatsoever until you're recently making some cars. And everything on the store shelves everywhere is supposedly coming from China. But other than that, nothing cultural. We're just getting, like, recently movies from China on Amazon and Netflix. Not before, right? Kind of recently. Like, where your old movie, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah, you got a couple old black and white movies like we do, but, like, where's your cultural base? Where is the whole thing that was supposedly happening? Where is it? It just doesn't exist, you see? And you can sort of, like, well, the whole Eastern Europe countries, those are about as old as China, maybe. Like a large part of Under the Dome was recently reset, okay? You didn't need it before then, okay? You just so it wasn't there. It just didn't exist. Why would it, if a tree falls in a forest and there's no one there to hear it, you know, does it make a sound, is the thing. Nah, it's not that. If there's no one in a forest, right? At Disney, does the forest need to be there? No. The forest isn't there. Everything's pre-planned, so why does Russia need to be there and China is just not there? They don't exist, but then they do in a more recent thing. That doesn't mean they don't talk about them like they're real and there's not a script and stuff like that. It's just you've never been. They're not there. Look, this is if somebody has to start waking up on here, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got 10 more years. And I just written down 50 topics, that nobody knows anything about. I guess I'll just do them when I have time, all right? Anyway, thanks for the donations. We're really on super thin margins, so I get by on almost nothing. Uh, and I'm trying to sit here and release the truth. So to those people supporting me and really making donations and stuff, you're super rare, and I really appreciate it because this is what I'm here doing. I'm trying to give you the truth because only the truth helps. It doesn't. Nothing else will help you. Only the truth. Okay. God loves you. Find out what's really going on, please. Okay.